Hi, my name is Nived from Feds, and the other day I heard something really curious from our head of support and training.
Most advanced drone, without any doubt, in the market, commercially available market, is DJI M300.
And that got me thinking, why exactly does he feel this way? Well, today we're going to find out whether DJI M300's tagline, "Build tough, work smart," is just a tagline or facts. To start with, let's talk about the FPV camera. When you compare the M300's FPV camera to the Inspire, you notice a significant gain in resolution, and this gain in resolution actually helps you do missions. When we're doing transmission line inspections or OHTL inspections, when you look at the lines from afar, it can almost look like the lines are intersecting, and often this is not the case. So this makes it a challenge when you're trying to conduct a line inspection just from pure line of sight visual. So we use the FPV camera to carry out the mission in this situation. And similarly, when you're standing, it just lets you stand further away from your subject while still making sure you get the data. Next, let's talk about the omnidirectional sensors or the 6-directional sensors. Obviously, they give you a tremendous boost to safety, but this isn't the only benefit. We use the omnidirectional sensors to our advantage when we were conducting facade inspections in downtown Dubai, where it's a heavily urban area. So when you're doing the facade inspection, you need photographs taken at certain intervals, and these are specific intervals. So this makes it really challenging when you want to conduct a manual flight. So we want to do that automated. So using the system, we automated the flights to take periodical pictures as it goes up or down the tower, and the sensors actually came in clutch. Suppose the drone drifts forwards towards the building, the sensor stops the drone from doing that, or when it gets to the end and maybe there's another tower to the other side, the sensors stop it from going towards the tower as well. Next up, let's talk about the transmission distance. Now the M300 gives you a cool 15-kilometer transmission distance, and when you couple that with the advanced dual control feature, you can pull off some really amazing work, and which basically gives you a giant boost to your efficiency. Now let's talk about this inspection that we did in the mountainous regions, where you have the mountain, you have a tower here, a tower at the peak, and then a tower at the other side near the crest. And the tower in the middle, you can't really access it, either by walk or there's no road there. So what we did is we had a pilot standing at Tower A and Tower C, and they were hooked up to the same M300. So pilot A would fly it from here to the top, and from the top, pilot C would then take over to complete the inspection. Working this way, we worked through the mountain quickly and efficiently. Next up, let's talk about the IP rating of the M300. It's IP45 rated, so that's going to give you some amount of protection against the elements. You can't fly in like torrential downpour, but you can still brave a drizzle or maybe even snowfall. This comes in handy when you're flying in maybe mountainous regions like Fujairah, or even in the mountains of Turkey. These two come in mind because this is where we've encountered the IP rating to be really beneficial. So you don't really get a lot of rain in UAE, but in Fujairah you do get drizzling. And if we had to stop every time it drizzled, we'd be out there all the time. And even in Turkey, it was slightly snowing the time we were there, and because of the M300's IP45 rating, we just kept going and the drone just kept trucking on, and we got the data without any loss to accuracy. And finally, what I want to talk about is the M300's surprising resilience to electromagnetic interference. When we are flying around power lines, it's always a risk that electromagnetic interference can almost ruin your day and your entire operation. Now, with the M300, we've seen our pilots fly even as close as 5 feet away from the power line. Now, is that necessary? Yes, because even though you can zoom in, getting closer is going to give you those intricate features that you would have probably missed if you just zoomed in, and these can prevent catastrophic accidents. The M300's resilience goes a long way, even in situations where we're flying under a bridge to conduct the bridge inspection underneath. Drones don't really do well in GPS denied environments, but the M300 we found didn't really give us an issue. It flew underneath the bridge. We didn't have a situation where we lost connectivity, and the drone came home safe. We got the data and the clients were happy. Speaking to the safety of the drone, we're going to talk about the redundancies in place. Now, there's so many that I can't really speak from the top of my head, so I'm going to look at my laptop for this, and we're going to go through it really quick. You got dual inertial measurement units, dual barometers, dual RTK antennas and GNSS modules, dual compasses, 6 pairs of vision sensors, 6 TOF sensors. Obstacle sensing range is between 0.1 to 8 meters. Auxiliary lights, control signal redundancies, dual intelligent batteries. So if there's any issue with one of the batteries during flight, the other battery can adjust its output so that the flight is safe. You got dual transmission links, dual remote control mod, and you have the 3 emergency landing, the 3 propeller emergency landing. Now, it's very unlikely that this is ever going to come into use, but suppose you have a failure of one of the propellers, the drone can compensate for that. Now, this is going to do some damage to the payload for sure, and maybe even the drone, but this is going to stop it from crash landing, free fall down into maybe your subject or even people. And that's all I have for you today. Now, that doesn't cover all the features of the M300, just the features that I think are super important, which, yeah, it is subjective, but if you ever want to have a conversation about drones, I'm there. Just hit me up, subscribe down below, send an email, and let's have a conversation.